But first of all, I will introduce myself. I am D.S. Parmar, Director Controller Legal Metrology, Government of Gujarat, looking for the entire state. I welcome all of you in this webinar. First of all, thanks to CERC for giving us opportunity. So thank you CERC and welcome all the participants in this webinar. As we know, the Department of Consumer Affairs administers the policy of consumer cooperative price monitoring, essential commodity availability, consumer movement, and control of statutory bodies such as CAPAC and other bodies. Also, we are implementing Legal Metrology Act 2009. We are also looking for the Consumer Protection Act. As you all may be knowing that recently on 20th July, Government of India has started to implement the Consumer Protection Act 2019. So after a very long time, earlier it was Act of 1985 and now a new act is under implementation. So it is good for the consumer protection and consumer rights. The State Department also leads the activities for consumer protection and awareness. The Consumer Protection Agency of Gujarat has enlisted more than 53 VCOs, voluntary consumer organizations, working in the entire district in entire state in various districts. These district level VCOs are recognized for their efforts in the area of consumer education and awakening. They are doing various programs for the consumer awareness and the protection of the rights. Periodic meeting also held with them. Here at state level, we have agency registered under Public Trust Act, which is named as Consumer Affairs Protection Agency Gujarat, whose chairman is Honorable Secretary, Food and Cereal Supply and Consumer Affairs, Government of Gujarat. That recently in COVID-19 lockdown period, we have also provided food grains to the migrant labor in a very massive scale. COVID-19, I have also got opportunity to serve the migrant laborers in the Ahmedabad city. I am also holding the charge of food control at Ahmedabad city. So I also got this opportunity to provide food grains to the migrant laborers during the lockdown period. That was a big challenge for us. We have also provided food grains at the doorstep to the migrants. So this is a very important aspect of the government. This is a social service. Now this webinar subject is iodized salt. As you may be aware that we are providing wheat, rice, whole gram, sugar and salt to the beneficiaries covered under the PDF system. We are also providing iodized salt, which is the subject matter of today's webinar. Iodine is required in a very minute quantity, 150 to 250 microgram per day, deficiency of which results in a wide array of preventable disorders and disabilities, collectively known as iodine deficiency disorders, IDD, it is known as IDD. Edible salt is also considered an ideal vehicle for delivery of iodine in the human body because of its daily and universal consumption by everyone, irrespective of age. Iodization USI is a strategy to combat IDD means iodine deficiency disorder. Earlier we were providing from as far as the government of Gujarat is concerned, earlier we were also providing fortified atta to the beneficiaries of the under the PDS. In our country, this program is being successfully implemented with the help of PDS and Anganwadi midday meal. Anganwadi, we are also covering Anganwadi and midday meal in primary schools. It's a good program run by the government of Gujarat. So today's webinar brings together stakeholders from grassroots levels that are working for consumer rights and the right to safeguard and the nutrition food. It is expected that all of us assume that the role and responsibility of in ensuring access to adequately iodized salt across the state of Gujarat, so that target of more than 90% population coverage is achieved. So we will know the other facts also for the iodized salt is concerned. So thank you very much, and we hope we will achieve something from this webinar. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Dr. Uday Mewani. Good afternoon, the wonderful audience. On behalf of Dr. L.G. Koshia, I am representing the Food and Drug Control Administration. Today's topic is very good. Namak or Sehat. Without salt, we cannot survive. If the salt is more than required, it will be harmful to the health. But if the salt is in a sufficient quantity and it is fortified or double fortified, then this will be wonderful medicine for all of us. So if we talk about the consumer, definitely all the consumer must eat the double fortified salt, because right now the FSSAI has launched one regulation where voluntarily few articles, few staple foods, say salt, oil, milk, rice and flour, they have motivated all the people and they have asked all the manufacturers to make all these staple foods fortified. Salt was already fortified before by iodine. So we used to get the iodized salt since 10-12 years. But now it is double fortified with iron and iodine. Iron is very helpful to us for increasing our hemoglobin level. Iodine is very helpful to us for improving our memory power, our presence of mind, our smartness. Friends, you might have seen that the people of my age or above 50, if we recollect the time of our schooling or initial days of our college, how smart we were. Can you identify that the new generation or the younger generation of today's era is more smart? And the whole credit goes to the government scheme of iodinization of the salt. We were not getting sufficient quantity of iodine in our daily diet. But today's generation is definitely getting sufficient quantity of iodine in their daily diet, and that makes them smart. So fortification is very much essential for all of us, and especially the fortification of salt, because today we are talking about the salt, not any other staple food. So it is very, very useful, very essential commodity very essential staple food. I cannot say the staple food because the quantity of salt we are using is very less. But then also it is very essential, which will give us the sufficient quantity of iodine and iron. Now, this is the talk for a consumer. Now I'll say something to the manufacturers. I am sure Mr. Uday Mewani, few manufacturers might be present into this webinar. So it is my appeal to all the manufacturers to produce the double fortified salt, and along with their business expansion, they'll do some sort of CSR activity or they'll do some sort of social responsibilities. So it is my urge to the manufacturers to make the DFS, my urge to consumers to take the double fortified salt, to ask the supplier or the Reliance Mall or wherever you go to purchase the salt, ask them to provide the double fortified salt. Because most of the time manufacturer tells us कि मैडम हम लोग बना तो देते हैं पर कोई लेता नहीं हमारा salt. So it becomes very much difficult for us to produce and sell it because there is no demand, there is no supply. Gujarat government is very proactive, and in all the government schemes, say MDM, say ICDS, say PDS, we are providing the double fortified salt. But that goes to a particular segment of the children, particular segment of the people. But we wish that all the people of the Gujarat, maybe around 6.7 crores, you, me and all, we all take a regular amount of DFS, sufficient quantity, required quantity in our daily diet. That will make us more and more healthy. Food and Drug Control Department is a regulatory authority. So we have a proper check on the market where we find the double fortified salt. We have a proper checks on the quality of double fortified salt. So be assured that whatever, if you buy the double fortified salt from the market, you will definitely get sufficient quantity of iron, sufficient quantity of iodine. Gujarat government is having 6 laboratories. Out of that, 4 are NABL accredited. All the laboratories can definitely find the sufficient quantity and quality of the micronutrients. Even we have 4 food testing laboratory. This laboratory, the mobile laboratory, can go anywhere in the state and check the quality of the salt. Anything is required by the consumer, you can definitely approach us on our toll-free number. It is 1-800-233-5500. We have the website also for this complaint. You can go to our website also, and you can ask. As a consumer, you can definitely go to the laboratory, and by paying few rupees, you can get it checked also. I will urge the CERC also to invite more and more people to get it tested, the salt, in their own laboratory also. So all these steps will provide the confidence that all the people of the Gujarat are taking good quality of the salt, और अच्छा क्वालिटी ऑफ नमक खा के हम लोग हमारी सेहत अच्छी से बनाएं. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, CRC. So today my presentation is divided into 3 parts. I'll start my presentation with a brief note of Nutrition International India's program. Second, I'll share brief details about the Indian iodine survey which Nutrition International conducted across the country India. And last but not the least, I'll share the Nutrition International effort in supporting Government of Gujarat in achieving the objective of USI. So let's start with the Nutrition International brief introduction. Nutrition International is a Canada-based international organization who is working in India since 2000, from last 20 years. To implement our program, we collaborate at the national and state governments, and currently we have programs in 9 states in India covering 149 districts. The name of the states are Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Madhya Pradesh. We are implementing the programs in health and nutrition. Through our programs, we are impacting the lives of adolescent girls, pregnant and lactating mothers, children under 5 years of age, and through our food fortification program, we are impacting the lives of all the population. And one such program is universal salt iodization. Next slide, please. So in the year 2018 and 19, Nutrition International conducted a survey across the India in all the states and union territories. And I have today key findings of this survey in context of the Gujarat state. Next slide. As per this survey, it says that in the state of Gujarat, approximately 80% of households are consuming adequate iodized salt, which means that this salt have the ppm level of iodine equal and more than 15 ppm. I'm also showing in this PPT that the map of the India, the states which are highlighted with the green color says that these states have already achieved USI in their states. So the name of these states are Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Meghalaya. And the states which are highlighted with yellow color says that these states are progressing towards achieving the objective of USI, and Gujarat state is one of them. Next slide, please. So this is the coverage of iodized salt in the state of Gujarat. As per this study, 19.9% of households are still consuming inadequate iodized salt. If I'm saying that it is an inadequate iodized salt, it means that the ppm level of iodine in these salts are less than 15 ppm. 48.2% household are consuming adequate iodized salt, and in these salts the ppm level is in between 15 to 30 ppm, and the remaining 32% of households are consuming iodized salt having the iodine more than 30 ppm. If we further bifurcate the population under the rural and urban category, then we can see through this slide that more than 28% of household, Gujarat household, are consuming inadequate iodized salt as compared to 12% of urban household. And if I'm saying inadequate, still I'm precising that it is equal and less than 15 ppm. Next slide, please. So the type of salt which the Gujarat population are consuming, there are mainly two types of salt which the Gujarat households are consuming. They are refined salt and washed and crushed salt. 97% of Gujarat household are consuming refined salt, and under this 97% of refined salt, 20% of refined salt are still having the iodine content less than 15 ppm. And out of 3% of washed and crushed salt, approximately 30% of salt are inadequate. Next slide. So if we talk about the Gujarat population knowledge about the iodized salt, its importance in their life, and how it is going to benefit their life, then this survey says that approximately about 90% of Gujarat respondent to this survey says that consumption of regular adequate iodized salt prevents the goiter problem in their life. approximately about 75% respondents says that it helps them to prevent abortion and stillbirth. 50% of respondents of this survey says that consumption of regular iodized salt improves the intelligence level in the human being, and 56% says that it improves the maternal health. And in this survey, it also confirmed that 83.5% respondent confirmed that they heard about the iodized salt. Next slide, please. So key highlights of the Indian Iodine Survey 2018 and 2019 in context of the state of Gujarat. It says that 80% of households are consuming adequate iodized salt, having the iodine content equal and more than 15 ppm. 97% of Gujarat households are consuming refined edible iodized salt. 83.5% of respondents had heard about the iodized salt in their life, and 72.4% of respondents said that they are receiving about the consumption of adequate iodized salt through electronic media. Next slide, please. So how the Nutrition International support the government efforts and engage with the stakeholders to achieve the objective of USI. In the state of Gujarat, we are working closely at two levels. At the state level, we are organizing state USI stakeholders meeting, and we also participate in NIDDCP review meeting to support the concerned district, state administration and department to achieve the objective of USI. Parallelly, we also organize district level USI committee meeting and participate in district nutrition task force meeting to support concerned department in reviewing the NIDDCP program and also provide required support to achieve the objective of USI. Apart from that, Nutrition International supports the government of Gujarat efforts to achieve the universal salt iodization as a part of their strategy to reduce iodine deficiency disorders among the population of Gujarat. For this, we collaborate at the state government and the district government to improve the regulatory environment for the production, distribution, and consumption of adequate iodized salt. We also work at the production level, work closely with middle and small scale processors and help them to build their capacity to produce adequate iodized salt, complying the regulation of food standards. We also support state IDD cell so that they can implement the NIDDC program in the state level. So all the efforts of Nutrition International, key focus has been the production and availability of adequate iodized salt in the state of Gujarat, so that after consuming the adequate iodized salt, the health and the mental and physical development of the common people will improve. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon to all of you. I am Professor Parani, Project Director of TNCP ERC of Thiruvarur, Tamil Nadu State. Now I will inform for you a few words about our organization. This organization was formed in 1978 itself. That is even before the enactment of Consumer Protection Act. We formed the association in Thiruvarur and thereby creating awareness in that area. Then we have affiliated more than 30 consumer organizations in the rural taluks of Thiruvarur and Nagapattinam districts. Also, we are having a state level coordination with the consumer organization working in different parts of Tamil Nadu. Nearly 80 consumer organizations are in our network through which we are carrying out the activities. And we are having representation in all the state and district level organization, government, as well as district level committees. We entered into this project, that is universal salt allocation, in 1994 itself. That is with the aid of UNICEF at the time. We do the quantitative analysis. That is whether the iodine has, whether the salt used by the consumer is iodized or not. Simply with the MPI kit, we are checking that and inform to the persons and consumer public, thereby creating awareness alone. It is a qualitative method. Then in 2014 onwards, we had a tie-up with Nutrition International, who are providing financial assistance to us to establish a laboratory, appoint a chemist and other technical persons for that, and through that, and from 2014 onwards, we involved in this project, in this program, quantitatively. That is, finding how much of iodine is actually present in the salt sample used by the consumer public, which is available in the market. Then the methodology which you are adapting in Tamil Nadu is, you are taking nearly 700 samples from all the towns of Tamil Nadu. The collection is done by our network partners working in that areas. They collect the samples and send to us. In our laboratory in Thiruvarur, it is tested for its iodine content by thermometric method and found out the amount of iodine present as per the norms framed by the Government of India. These results were tabulated, compiled district-wise, brand-wise, types of the salt, as well as some mislabeled pouches. The type of salt means 3 types of salts are being used in our area. That is, one is crystalline salt, crystal salt, which is mostly used in rural areas, villages, etc. And powder salt, which is used in certain urban areas, and refined salt. These 3 types of salts are available in the market. Then we will categorically divide all these things and tabulate it in a form of data. After tabulation, what we are doing is the results were shared to all the stakeholders. The results has been sent to the CPR agencies, that is our network partners, and in turn they will give it to the shops where they have collected the sample and advise the shopkeepers not to purchase inadequately or non-iodized salts for sale. Similarly, we also send the reports to the salt producers and packers also, asking them, this is the iodine content of your salt which is taken from the market and it is inadequately iodized or it is totally not iodized. So try to improve yourself, otherwise we have to take other actions like that. We also send appreciation letters to the processors who are maintaining the level of iodine to the level, that is 15 and above ppm. Not only with the things, with that, the sharing is also done with the government implementing authorities involved in this particular issue. That is to the Public Health Department, Food Safety Department, district collectors, legal metrology departments, etc. These data have been shared frequently. That is, every month we are sending the report to them and asking for actions. Then another thing, next with this one, we are doing the advocacy. That is, contacting directly the stakeholders, actually the policymakers, the government officials, ministers, etc., and discuss with them directly or by letter campaign or submitting memorandum to them. We will ask them corresponding changes or amendments in the law to implement 100% universal assault eradication in the state of Tamil Nadu. After we are doing that, increasing the sustainability of our capacity of our associate CRAs to sustain in this one, to stand in this one, will give the training camps, workshops, and inform the recent developments in this particular field and how to make discussion, how to create awareness in their areas like that. Also, we will advise them to become the members in the various bodies of the state as well as district level committees formed for that purpose, for this purpose. The implementation model here, the next slide shows to you. That is sample collection and data sharing. Actually, the our members are going to share this one, collect the samples to us, collect the sample to us, and the sharing of, next slide I am going there. Sharing level of validation on the relevant data, actually notifying the things, informing the miserable results, etc. Like that. The sharing will be done like that. Already I have told you appreciation of the processors, salt processors, sharing the details with the state and central government for necessary action. And also we are doing the data triangulation. Here what we are saying the data triangulation is, we are having field survey, we are getting the sample, salt sample from the market, from the retail end, directly from the shops, and do the analysis and compile the data. Similarly, the government, food safety department is collecting samples and they are having their own data. Public health department are collecting the samples and IDD cell is having its own salt sample report. Also, NI is also having this report with us. We are connecting all the, comparing these three things, and thereby we can evaluate how much effort we have to take on where and which area we have to take importance for implementation of this project. Then the latter campaign advocacy, when you consider the latter campaign, actually hundreds of letters were sent by our network partners from each district to the government, to the salt producers, and also to the other stakeholders involved in this one. Also the advocacy through the letter campaign and other things, we are doing the contacting the officials, our TNCPRC official office bearers, the district level network partners, contacted the DDOs, district designated officers of food safety department, the public health department, DDHS, and also the district collectors directly or through the letters, and they will inform the day-to-day issues to them, they will bring the knowledge to brought the knowledge about the things, about the issues in their area, and also they will ask for remedies or legal actions.
May I for a second interrupt, Dr. Palani?
Yeah, tell me.
We need to hasten the presentation a little bit because otherwise we'll be running out of time.
Okay.
I'm sorry for rushing you up.
Okay, I will let you up. Then we will go to the promoting the sustainability. There we are giving asking our association members and network partners to use the WhatsApp complaint. Here, the Food Safety Department Commissioner Amuda IAS is now in the Prime Minister's office. Introduce the WhatsApp number, complaint number. We have utilized that WhatsApp complaint number. We asked the consumers to file the WhatsApp complaints on the non-iodized salt and inhibited salt, and thereby a number of actions has been taken by the officials, city departments. By this way, this is the progress we obtained in the retail industry, that is in the shops. In 2014 to 15, the iodized salt availability is 50.7% due to the continuous effort taken by our organization in collaboration with the NI. It has been increased to 67.1%. Similarly, in the PDS, the data confirmed that 82% in 2014 and 15, it goes to 88.7% in 2019-20. The final slide thing. This is the few achievements we want to have discuss with you regarding this one. The stakeholders of the government and the district level, Food Safety Department, Legal Metrology Department, and Public Health Department realize the importance of involving the consumer movement into this program, and they are giving importance to our activities based on the reports we are submitting. And we have conducted a joint visit in production centers as well as retail centers. A joint inspection has been carried out in all the districts. And another thing is, on IDD, World IDD Day, we are asking the Food Safety Department to take mass salt sample collection. Earlier, only for a year, they will have 10 or 15 before the 2014 and above. Before the 2014, only 10 or 15 samples have been taken. Now, in 2018, 19 February up to February, the Food Safety Department has taken 1,117 samples, and they analyzed it, found the iodine content, and they imposed a fine of 50 lakhs for the iodized salt, for the salt which is not adequately iodized or the non-iodized salt available in the market. This is the best thing we have achieved, that is making the Food Safety Department and other law implementing authorities to impose fine on the producers and salt packers who are not compiled with the present law of universal salt iodization. And another also we have prepared, we have talked the NIDDCP coordination committees and the technical committees. Earlier, before 2014, it was only decision taken by the district collectors. But due to our continuous efforts taken by us, a GO has been released for the formation of this the technical committees as well as coordination committees for NIDDCP in 2018. This is another achievement of us. Also, there is a problem for us. In Food Safety Standing Committee, now it has been changed to Food Safety Advisory Committee. Our members, the network partners in the districts, became the member in that Food Safety Committee committees and added this salt as one of the agenda in all the meetings. They will present the data and as official to take necessary action. This is another achievement by us. Another thing is the main problem for not implementation to the 100% is because of the non-iodized salt availability in the rural areas. What they are doing is they will pack the non-iodized salt in pouches, either mislabeled or pouches printed with a small letters as PPO, that is preservative purpose only, and put it in the market for EDLO purpose. We have taken this matter to the knowledge of Legal Metrology Department and also with the government of Tamil Nadu, and the Legal Metrology Department issued a notification here in Tamil Nadu only that these PPO salt should be packed in 2 kilo or above 2 kilo pouches only, and that is now followed in this one. Also, we are making this notification as an amendment in the Legal Metrology Act. Also, we are taking steps for that. We are having the representation in the district level food safety committees, NIDDCP committees, and all our network partners are also in that committees, and they are talking on this subject in all these meetings as one of the agenda, and thereby implement the universal salt realization to the maximum extent, and thereby converting the state of Tamil Nadu as one among the states which is free from iodine deficiency disorder syndrome. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the availability of adequately iodized salt in the state of Gujarat. This is based on our project that we have been engaged with in the last 1 year. It is on testing the quality of iodized salt available in different districts of Gujarat. So CERC is committed to consumer protection, including ensuring that everyone has access to food, including salt, which is healthy, nutritious, and safe to eat. With our in-house laboratory, we do food products testing to see the compliance to standards, and we do advocacy in order to contribute towards the national health governance. We here provide an informed choice to the consumers through our constant efforts, and we also give voice in compliance issues and development of national food standards. Next, please. Milan, next slide, please. Milan, next slide, please. Please bear with us.
શું થયું પેલી સ્લાઇડ કેમ નથી ચેન્જ થતી? મને કે જલ્દી જાઓ જલ્દી.
So you can see here that it's a Gujarat state level survey where we have covered all the 33 districts with the inline 249 talukas. we have procured samples from all over the state, and this time we have been able to do at least 1800 samples in this last year for the iodine content. Next slide, please. Please change the slide.
क्या हो रहा है वहाँ क्यों चेंज नहीं हो रहा है ask them to be quick.
So as I was mentioning, that CRC has been collecting and testing samples from across the state of Gujarat for the iodine content. And the sampling pattern includes the collection of salt samples from different sources such as salt processors, the iodization units, retailers, shopkeepers, provision stores, Anganwadis, the midday meal scheme implementation units, fair price shops, the PDS or the ration shops, etc. So during the last 1 year, we have been able to do collection and testing of more than 1800 samples. Next slide, please. So out of these 1800 samples which have been collected in from the 33 districts of Gujarat, we have done the testing of iodine content, and the standard limit for iodine is more than 15 ppm of iodine should be there in iodized salt, which should be available at the consumer's end. So when we tested, we found that the samples which were collected from the retailer's end, around 89% of the samples were found complying with the required standards. In case of samples which were collected from the PDS shops or the ration shops, we found that roughly 85% of the samples were found to be of good quality. They were complying with the required standards. Similarly, from the midday meal schemes or the Anganwadis, we collected iodized salt samples, but here we found that roughly 81% of the samples were found complying with the required standards. And the samples which were collected from the salt processors or directly from the salt iodization units, we found that 88% of the samples were found complying with the required standards. So when we sum up all this, we found that overall in Gujarat, 11% of the total samples that were tested were found to be non-compliant. That is, those samples were having an iodine content of less than 15 ppm. And there were around 17 districts with more than 10% of the substandard samples. And the districts with least number of non-compliant samples were Chota Udaipur, Mehsana, Morbi, Navsari, and Surendranagar. There were less than 5% of samples which were compliant in these districts. And the districts with the highest number of substandard samples, that is more than 20% of the samples were not of good quality. Those districts were Arvalli and Kutch district. Next slide, please. So based on our testing, we have laid down certain advocacy issues, and I'll just quickly go through these issues which we have enumerated here. First is rigorous monitoring by enforcement agency in the regions and districts with non-compliance of more than 10%. Then training and education about good manufacturing practices to the small and medium scale salt industries. Thirdly, continuous monitoring mechanism in-house as well as external at the supply, distribution and consumer level, consumption level should be done. Consumer outreach programs for students, women, health workers and similar group of stakeholders must be conducted throughout the year. Sensitizing community of various government schemes and healthcare programs on malnutrition and fortification of food is also need of the hour. Last but not the least is collaborating with the district level VCOs for exchange and dissemination of information regarding iodized salt. So with this, I end my presentation today. Thank you so much.